Hi, everyone. Welcome to Speaking English. My name is Tom, and welcome back to our 7 Days English Challenge. Kim, today is day 4, and we are going to practice one of the most important skills you need to speak English confidently, short conversations. But before we start, let me ask you something. Have you ever met someone for the first time, and they suddenly started speaking English to you? You understood what they were saying. You knew the words. You knew exactly what you wanted to say, but when it was your turn to speak, nothing. Your brain went completely blank. You looked at the person, they looked at you, and inside your head, you were searching through your entire English vocabulary like, where is the answer? Where is the answer? And finally you said, yeah, okay, fine. And the conversation was over. If you've ever experienced this, don't worry, you're not bad at English. You don't need to learn 1,000 more grammar rules. You simply need to practice real conversations. Because speaking English isn't about knowing every word in the dictionary. It's about knowing what to say in the moment. And that's exactly what we're going to practice today. In this lesson, we're going to use simple, natural conversations that you can actually use in real life. We'll talk about meeting someone new, traveling, talking at the airport, checking into a hotel, asking for help, and keeping a conversation going. And here's the important part. I don't want you to just sit there and watch me speak. I want you to speak with me. When I ask you a question, answer out loud. When I give you a sentence, repeat it. And if you need more time, pause the video. Because watching English is good, but speaking English is what makes you better at speaking English. All right, let's begin. Imagine you're traveling to another country. You've just arrived at the airport. You're standing near the baggage area, waiting for your suitcase. Someone standing next to you smiles and says, "Hi, is this your first time here?" Now, what would you say? You don't need a long answer. You can simply say, "Yes, it is. It's my first time here." That's it. Simple. Natural. Let's continue. The person says, "Oh, really? Where are you from?" You can say, "I'm from British." Then you can ask, "What about you?" That's a very useful phrase. What about you? Remember it. You can use it again and again. Someone asks, "Where are you from?" You answer, "I'm from Pakistan." What about you? Someone asks, "Do you like coffee?" You say, "Yes, I do." What about you? Someone asks, "Are you traveling alone?" You say, "No, I'm traveling with my family." What about you? See how useful that little phrase is? It keeps the conversation moving. Now let's put the whole conversation together. Person: "Hi, is this your first time here?" You: "Yes, it is. It's my first time here." Person: "Oh, really? Where are you from?" "I'm from Pakistan. What about you?" Person: "Canada." You: "Nice. Are you here on vacation?" "Yes, I'm here for a week." "That's great. I hope you enjoy your trip." "Thank you." That's a complete conversation. And look at the language. Nothing complicated. No difficult vocabulary. No huge sentences. Just simple English. That's exactly what I want you to learn. Now let's make it a little more challenging. Imagine you're sitting on an airplane. The person next to you looks at you and says, "Hi, are you traveling alone?" You can say, "Yes, I am." Or, "No, I'm traveling with my family." Then they might ask, "Where are you going?" You can say, "I'm going to London," or "I'm going to Dubai," or "I'm going to Riyadh." Then you can ask, "What about you?" Let's practice this together. I'll be the person sitting next to you. You answer me. Ready? "Hi. Are you traveling alone?" Pause the video and answer out loud. Good. Now, where are you going? Your turn. Excellent. Now ask me, "What about you?" Perfect. You just had a mini conversation in English. And you didn't need perfect grammar. You didn't need a perfect accent. You simply needed a few useful sentences. Now let's talk about something very important. When you're having a short conversation, don't give only one-word answers. For example, someone asks, "Where are you from?" You say, "UK." That's correct. But the conversation can easily stop there. Instead, give a little more information. You could say, "I'm from UK. I live in London." Now the other person has something to talk about. They might say, "Oh, nice. What do you do?" You could answer, "I work in sales. What about you?" Now the conversation continues. So here's a simple formula I want you to remember. Answer plus one detail plus question back. Let's try it. Where are you from? Don't just say UK. Say, "I'm from UK. I live in London. What about you?" Much better. Here's another example. Why are you traveling? You could say, "I'm traveling for work. I'll be here for 2 weeks. What about you?" Simple, natural. And now you have given the other person something they can respond to. This is how real conversations work. You don't need to prepare a speech. You simply listen, answer, add a little information, and ask another question. Now let's move to another situation. You've arrived at your hotel. You walk to the reception desk. The receptionist smiles and says, "Hello, welcome to the hotel. How can I help you?" You can say, "Hi, I have a reservation under the name Tom." The receptionist says, "Sure, can I see your passport, please?" You say, "Of course, here you are." They check your reservation and say, "Your room is ready." You say, "Great, thank you." That's another real-life conversation. Let's practice the full conversation. "Hello, welcome to the hotel. How can I help you?" "Hi, I have a reservation under the name Tom." "Sure, can I see your passport, please?" "Of course, here you are." "Thank you. You're staying for 3 nights, correct?" "Yes, that's right." "Here's your room key." "Thank you. What time is breakfast?" "Breakfast is from 7 to 10. "Perfect. Thank you very much." See? You can use these sentences almost exactly as they are. And here's a useful tip. Don't try to memorize every conversation. Instead, remember useful sentence patterns. For example, "I have a reservation under the name," you can use your own name. "I have a reservation under the name Tom." Or, "I have a reservation under the name Ali." Or, "I have a reservation under the name Sarah." Same sentence, different situation. That's how you can learn faster. Now imagine you're in a new city and you don't know where the train station is. You see someone on the street. You walk up and say, "Excuse me, could you help me?" This is a very polite way to start. Then you say, "I'm looking for the train station." The person might answer, "It's about 10 minutes from here." You can ask, "Is it far?" They might say, "No, not really." And you can finish with, "Thank you so much." Simple, useful, natural. Now, what if you don't understand what the person says? Don't panic, and please don't just smile and say, "Yes." You have no idea what they said, but you're saying yes anyway. We've all seen this happen. Instead, use these 2 sentences. "Sorry, could you repeat that?" Or, "Could you speak a little more slowly, please?" These sentences are extremely useful. You don't need to understand every word. You just need to ask the person to repeat or slow down. Let's practice. Someone speaks too quickly. You say, "Sorry, could you repeat that?" They repeat it. Still too fast? You say, "Could you speak a little more slowly, please?" Perfect. You're still in control of the conversation, and that's an important speaking skill. Now I want to give you a quick challenge. I'm going to ask you a question. Don't think too much. Just answer. Ready? Where are you from? Good. Now give me one extra detail. For example, I'm UK. I live in London. Excellent. Now ask me, what about you? Great. Let's try another one. Are you traveling alone? Answer out loud. Nons, nu and non ju in the family. Good. Now add one detail. For example, no, I'm traveling with my family. We're going to Dubai. Excellent. You are already building longer conversations from very simple English. And that's the secret. You don't need to make your English complicated. You need to make it automatic. The more you practice these short conversations, the faster your brain will find the words. At first, you may think for 5 seconds, then 3 seconds, then 1 second. And eventually, you won't think much at all. You'll simply respond. That's when English starts feeling natural. And that's what we're working toward. But we're not finished yet. We'll practice restaurants, shopping, asking for directions, solving problems while traveling, making small talk, and ending conversations naturally. And I'll also give you a challenge where you have to decide what Tom should say next. Before you go, remember these 5 useful phrases. Nice to meet you. What about you? Excuse me. Could you help me? Sorry. Could you repeat that? Could you speak a little more slowly, please? These sentences may look simple, but they can help you in hundreds of real-life situations. And here's your Day 4 challenge. Choose 5 sentences from this lesson. Say each sentence out loud 10 times. Then create your own short conversation, because every time you speak, you're training your brain to respond faster. And remember, you don't need perfect English to have a conversation. You just need the confidence to start one. I'm Tom, and this was Day 4 of the 7 Days English Challenge here on Speaking English. If you enjoyed this lesson, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss Part 2. Kumsin, Fef. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in next video. See you there. Menon Stain.